Let's Okay. Good morning, everyone who's joined the webinar. My name is Parikshit, and with me we have Anuja. We'll be starting in a while. We are waiting for more people to join in. Let's wait for few minutes and let's get started. Thank you. Okay, we are all set to start. Anuja, good morning.
Good
Am I
morning.
audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you from joining us from different parts of the globe. We are so happy to be hosting you today. My name is Parikshit. I head the Revenue Management Department at eZee Technosis. With like I had mentioned before also that last time I blinked an eye, it was still 2019, and now we are just 2 weeks away from 2022. And as a revenue manager, I get a lot of query that okay, what to expect now. Now that COVID is slowly becoming a thing of past, or people are co-living with it. Travel is still resuming. Though we thought, let's bring in somebody who's the biggest expert that we can get on board, and who better than booking.com, to give us some insights regarding this. And now, because of this idea, we have Anuja today, who's in the travel industry for, I think, 15 years. I have known her for a very long time, a good friend of mine. She comes with a lot of experience in hospitality. She's been working with booking, I think, 10 years now, Anuja?
That's correct.
Okay. And she has all sorts of experience like hotel management, all sides rather of, hospitality. She's been a hotelier, she's been doing hospitality management. And I think she is the right person to give us some insight into what we can expect, or what are the travel predictions that booking.com has made in the last year for 2022, or what a travel prediction we should be looking into. So without taking much of you guys' time, I will now hand it over to Anuja. Anuja, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Parikshit. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're joining this webinar. I am extremely excited to be part of this. So thank you, Team eZee, for having me. And I'm very, very honored to be here. Of course, very excited to present to you Booking.com's travel predictions for the year 2022. And I'm really looking forward to sharing all these predictions with you on this webinar. So stay tuned, and I'll move on. I'll start with my presentation. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put in to the Q&A chat box. I will also be taking some questions at the end of the session. So Parikshit will be doing that for me. So yeah, let's begin. So today's webinar is all about sharing with you the 7 predictions from booking.com, which are responsible for the triumphant return of travel in 2022. So along with practically every aspect of our life, the course of travel has kind of redefined repeatedly over the past almost 2 years. And it's had seismic shifts propelling us towards a continuous evolving version of the new normal. Now, 2022, this year is going to be the year to make the most of the unpredictability and to make up for the lost vacation time. While COVID-19 is still not in the rearview mirror, an undefinable sense of hope is beginning to take its place. And we are kind of ready for a triumphant return, with the number of travelers who feel that the need to make up for the lost time has increased by almost 52% since last year. And I'm sure most of you will agree with that. So to explore this rolling wave of optimism, Booking.com commissioned an extensive research with more than 24,000 travelers across 31 countries and territories, and combining it with our proprietary data and insights as a digital travel leader for the past 25 years to predict how travel will continue to be redefined in the year ahead. So the 7 predictions reveal how people will be reigniting the travel spark in the coming year, whether it's an essential part of maybe a self-care regime, or even the thrill of just saying yes to whatever travel opportunities and experiences that come their way. So it's all about seizing the day in 2022, and it's about making every trip matter. So now we'll go into each of these trends very quickly, but please do take a look for a more detailed report on our travel predictions on our website, booking.com. Just search for booking.com 2022 travel predictions on Google and you should have it. So after more than a year of ever evolving travel restrictions, the benefits of travel that has on health and well-being are now being acknowledged. Nearly 2/3, that is 62% of the global travelers say that they did not realize how important travel was to their well-being until it was no longer an option. And about 84% say that having a vacation planned has a very positive impact on their emotional well-being. Travel is an ideal form of wellness. It's demonstrated by at least a quarter of these research participants that say that stepping outside of their comfort zone is the key to why getting away enables them to reset and relax. 26%, and that is 2/3, that 66% actually say that staying somewhere with a different scenery enables them to just recharge. And maybe 56 or more percent say that you having a new experience is the new way of life. And for some, it is also trying out new cuisines or hearing a new language, for example, which helps them feel very, very rejuvenated. In 2022, we'll see a significant rise in people wanting to take control back in a bid to firmly reestablish a healthy work-life balance by making vacation time work-free, which wasn't the case, of course, in 2021 when home and remote work lives were a little blurred. So despite the flexibility to work remotely, 59% of the people would rather spend less time on vacation if it meant to completely switch off in 2022, rather than, having more time in the destination, but having a mix of business and leisure. So about 50% people are actually claiming to have work more hours using less vacation time during the pandemic. So expect to see more people setting their well-deserved out-of-home messages in 2022. Travelers will also experience a genuine sense of delight for even the most routine aspects of our trips in the next year. So the formerly mundane daydreaming out of the train window as the scenery breezes by, or getting lost in a maze of winding cobblestone streets to pick up the keys, all these are going to be a part of the sheer bliss that you experience. And 75% of the people say travel is more enjoyable when the journey feels part of the trip itself. Each first of our trips in 2022 will be a moment to savor, with majority of the travelers saying that simple pleasures like feeling the sun on their skin or even body of water of some kind will improve their mood for the better. And even the uncertainty of navigating public transports in a new city, or even listening or hearing a foreign language, is something that people say they will enjoy.
Anuj, I'm quickly running a poll to check what is happening in terms of length of stay post-pandemic. Okay, and I am getting some, a very drastic result in terms of this. Okay, so 37% people are saying that they have seen a good increase in length of stay. Now it's become 39. Okay, only 17% people are saying that it has not changed. So more or less, I think the way people travel has also given them a different perspective to value the time or value the vacation. Because I remember earlier in India, the average vacation was around 3 days. Now, slowly, I think there is a change at global level also. Okay, we have started valuing more time of the work, right? So quickly, got some result. Now 42% people are saying that they are seeing an increase in time, and 42% people are saying that there's a decrease in length of stay. So I think when we come to Q&A, we'll discuss a bit more on this, because this is a very interesting analogy that we have over here. So let's move on to the next part, and when we are taking Q&A, let's definitely come and discuss this. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Thanks for sharing, Parikshit. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I'll move on to the next prediction. This is about community. So in the next year, 2022, travelers will seek a more mindful way, about the trips that they take. They'll be more mindful about it, and they'll ensure that their impact on the places that they visit is, and also the people that they visit, is going to be a little more positive. This also builds into a finding from the sustainability report earlier this year, which revealed that 68% want the money that they spend when traveling to go back to the local communities. And about 73% would want to have an authentic experience that are representative of the local culture. So our travel prediction research shows that 57% of the travelers would appreciate like an app or a website or some form of technology that provides recommendation on destinations, where an increase in tourism would have a very positive impact on the local community. And inspired by the important social justice movements of our times right now, in 2022, travelers will do more research into how well the place that they're staying supports local businesses, and how their tourism spend will actually affect the local communities, which is signifying a new desire to do the right by the people who call our favorite vacation destination homes. Then we have
just a quick question that has come, because you're mentioning that part. Sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned that in 2022 people would like to do more research, right? And people want to have authentic experience and recommendation. Is Booking.com working on creating something like that? Do we have insights on that part?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for asking, Parikshit. Booking.com has actually released, along with these travel predictions, it's released a list of destinations we call hot destinations for the next year, which are easy to travel to right now, given the ever-changing, scenarios with relation to COVID. Apart from that, Booking.com has also done an extensive, extensively worked on getting the hoteliers, the properties empowered with the demand data. So within the extranet of the properties, each property, we have a demand dashboard, which is called as a market insights dashboard, which populates data which caters to individual properties. So it's it's specific to the property, it's specific to the com set of the property, and it gives you a detailed insights on what the demand destinations are, what kind of travelers are traveling to that destinations, what is the length of stay for the travelers who are booking in that destination, and many more such data points are available for all these properties on the extranet itself. And I think eZee's also made it easier to have this data in the form of channel manager insights. So we have that integrated into eZee as well. So if people are using eZee Channel Manager or PMS, they will have access to all this market insights information on their channel manager user interface.
Right. But are you also looking at developing something for the end users? Like right now we have Genius, right now we have ratings, right? But is Booking.com also working towards creating something on these lines for the end user, like recommendations and all those things? Because we have a lot of data at our side, okay, and users are empowered now by data. So are you looking to provide some insights to the end user as well, and how the hoteliers will be able to prepare? I think that's the question we would take in the Q&A section.
Yeah, So to answer your question very briefly, and this is also part of the presentation and the information that I'm sharing, and it's around sustainability. So a lot of our customers are now actually very aware of the climate change and how tourism affects environment. And that's what booking.com is completely invested in. In 2022,
Okay.
you will see a lot of efforts around sustainability. We already have a sustainability badge on
Yes.
booking.com, which can be adopted by properties who have a sustainable, process around their operations. And customers can easily view all these properties using that filter, and they will be able to pick all the properties that have this option available and actually care about sustainable practices and care about the climate and the environment.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Great. So I'll go on to the next prediction that booking.com has for our viewers today, which is swipe right on new places and faces. So vacations in 2022 will be a big opportunity to branch out and make new connections. And about 64% of the global travelers are actually looking forward to socializing while on vacation. And about 50% want to stay somewhere close to maybe plenty of nightlife options where they can meet new people. So we predict a resurgence of holiday romances, with about 50% of hoping for one on their next trip. But the romance doesn't have to stop when parting ways at the end of the trip, thanks to video calls, of course, becoming part of our everyday lives. Meaning we expect to see more than a few of these holiday romances turn into real deals. So that's going to be very exciting, and people are really looking forward to socializing again.
Yes.
Then we have the next prediction, which says, just say yes. So after a long time of being told no, travelers are actually reclaiming a very positive way of thinking for the next year. So nearly about 72% agree that they will say yes on any vacation opportunity if budget allows. And about 50% have been actually saving their money by not taking any big trips since the pandemic started. So money is actually no object for these trips in 2022. So that actually tells you a lot about the pent-up demand, wherein 61% are more open to different kinds of vacations than before pandemic, and 65% won't even mind where they go on vacation, as long as it's a type of trip that they want and they're just happy to be away from home. So in 2022, tech will actually play a very key role in supporting spontaneity and with increased optionality to book on the go. And a big part of it is flexibility to adapt plans and follow where the adventure leads you. About 55% are actually looking at the latest travel technology innovations to kind of offer a wild card or maybe a surprise option of a completely new travel experience that is suggested based on their past preferences or even budget to help them seize every potential opportunity. So this is going to be, of course, the next big thing. Adopting such a positive mentality will open up more of the world to travelers than even before. So many of them are taking a more adventurous approach to their holiday choices, and maybe even their companions are. So when it comes to travel buddies, they're looking for those who just say yes, as well as, about 35% of the travelers are looking to travel with somebody who are also happy to go with the flow. So it's going to be more of a spontaneous and adventurous year the next year, of course.
Right. In fact, our hoteliers also have become very flexible with time, because I also was checking with them. Now 76% are saying that they have made their cancellation policies flexible.
Fantastic.
18% are semi-flexible. Only 5% are still holding on to strict cancellation policies, and I'm sure that would be for the coming holiday season. But otherwise, I think with travelers becoming flexible, hoteliers play or contribute a very big part to provide that sort of a flexibility to them. So I think that is, you know, a good sync between the customer, what they want, and the supply that is coming to them.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I agree with everybody who's given their inputs in the poll as well. Flexibility is extremely important because we know now change is inevitable. And it, like, you know, one of the predictions say it's all about unpredictability and making the most of it. So flexibility only gives, builds in a lot of trust with the customers and gives them you know, hope of using their options, maybe not right now, but maybe at a future date. So yeah, flexibility is one of the biggest keys here.
Yes. Okay, over to you again.
Thank you so much. Then I have, like I was talking about unpredictability, it's about, again, embracing the unpredictability. So we've seen uncertainty will definitely continue to be a constant in travel in 2022. And of course, while we cannot change or predict every little surprise and challenge that fate has in store for us, but we'll have to embrace it. And having leaned on technology in a variety of ways to stay connected and inspired over the past 2 years, our favorite apps will continue to help us navigate the unknown on our trips. So technology will continue to smooth out the unforeseen bumps in the road with increasing finesse and proactivity. And because of this, we expect to see even wider adoption of predictive technologies. So which can help travelers make more informed decisions, and especially considering that 2/3 would be interested in an innovative services that could predict maybe which countries will be safe to travel in the coming months in advance, or even automatically suggest destinations which are easy to travel based on the country, based on the destination country, also considering the COVID restrictions that, or the requirements that we have at that time in that particular place. So no matter how accurate any machine learning predictions might be, but in order for everyone to truly embrace the new unpredictable normal, the broader travel industry will continue to prioritize flexibility. So like I was mentioning before, travelers rank reassurance that they won't lose money, or they need the ability to cancel and the ability to reschedule for free. These are the top three most important priorities of travelers right now that has come in light from the research that we've done so far.
Right.
So, like I said, travel predictions, the entire research was done and commissioned by Booking.com. We've taken samples from over 24,000 respondents over 31 countries. You can see on the screen the countries that these research points have been collected from. These were the 7 travel predictions from Booking.com. We'll quickly just glance through all the 7 travel predictions. So one, definitely 2022 will finally be the time to branch out, to make new connections. Then anticipation of the journey will be as exciting as the destination. Vacation time will be strictly work-free. So people don't want to mix work and leisure anymore, of course. Travel will become an essential form of self-care. So everybody's aware of how much travel affects our mental health and well-being, and that's going to be a very, very important factor going forward. Then authentic connection with the local community is also going to be a priority, because Gen Z, the next generation who are the travelers of the future, are very aware and very conscious of the climate change and the impact that travel can have on climate and environment, and how we can also give back to a local community by reducing our carbon footprint and making sure that the locals are more benefited from the industry. So
Mhm.
that's going to be extremely important. Then people will be saying yes to travel just for making the lost vacation time, which we had the pent up demand, like we've been saying for a really long time now. That is going to
Right.
take shape in the next year for sure. And we've already seen that happening in a lot of regions, in a lot of countries where travel is back to almost pre-COVID levels. And then, of
Wow.
course, technology, like we've said, will play a very, very important part. And technology will actually help us embrace travel with the unpredictability that comes our way. So it's actually going to help us be the guiding light for us, and actually going to help us show the right destinations to travel with the right kind of restrictions showcased. So those are the key takeaways and the 7 predictions that booking.com presents to everybody worldwide. And like I mentioned before, if you need more details or the entire report, it's available on our website, booking.com. So feel free to go and read about it. That's all from me. I will give it back to Parikshit. Thank you so much.
Anuja, thank you so much for taking this whole thing from the end user's perspective. Because usually what happens is, as hoteliers, we have our perspectives, right? But once we understand the end user's perspective, it becomes really easy for us to remodel ourselves, evolve. Because whichever of us were not ready to evolve before pandemic, it was like this: either you evolve by choice or by force, right? So pandemic has given that force for us to evolve. Now I'd like to quickly take few questions because we have some time. So I'll take a question that we have. First question that I have from mine is that what is the way forward now? Like, how do the hoteliers get prepared for 2022? Now, we know that these are the things that are happening at the travelers' end. Now, how do we prepare for 2022 to embrace those changes, and how can hoteliers, benefit maximum out of this?
Great. Thanks for the question, Parikshit. Very interesting indeed. And I did present, some of the answers in my slides. So I'll just quickly go through the points pertaining to this question. So properties will, have to work towards bringing in the pent up demand to their own businesses. So one, of course, there is technology available. So they have to be ready to adapt to the technologies that is available, the data that is available. Companies, like booking.com has done extensive research into providing a lot of data points that can help properties and business owners to be ready for the next year. And apart from this, like I mentioned before, the extranet also is a great source to see data points like demand data and the kind of travelers that are looking into certain destinations, and what kind of travelers are coming in, what platforms they're using to book their bookings. So all this data is available. So tech definitely plays a very big part in getting prepared for the next year. Apart from this, one of the biggest topics that Booking is invested in is sustainability. So to make sure that the practices that properties have right now be a
Mhm.
little more, they can be a little more conscious of the impact that tourism has on the environment, and they can have some sustainable practices in the operations that they do on a daily basis. I think that's going to be one of the biggest key and focuses for hospitality businesses to be more prepared for the travelers that will want to come to their property.
Okay. So if we want to attract maximum people, the travelers that are traveling now, we have to sort of follow the sustainable practices and keep ourselves updated with tech. If I'm taking the major takeaways from here, right?
Yes, those are the few key takeaways that you can take from here,
Okay.
apart from the other things. Yes.
Okay. Now that travelers are evolved, okay, what are the places, which are getting, like you mentioned that you're listing some destinations. So what are the kind of destinations that are getting picked up? Are people still going to more of luxury villas, or are they trying to connect back to nature? Or, are we going back to like all casinos, and what is happening around the world?
It's right now, it's of course a mix, but this is a very specific data point that is again very specific to the traveler's choice.
Right.
And one property cannot cater to everything and everything, right?
Yes.
So they need to, of course, identify the USPs. So they can, there's going to be, like I said, enough demand in the coming season for all kinds of properties, be it nature, be it quiet places, be it nightlife. But the key part here is like from the takeaways that I have presented before, people are looking forward to meeting new people, to socializing a bit more. That's again one of the biggest key takeaways here. So maybe those are the kind of properties or destinations that people would want to go to, where they can be with the community, make new friends, and just have fun. And because 2020 and 2021 is all been about living alone or cooped up inside your houses. So this is all about 2022 is all going to be about getting out there and meeting more people, being more social, new experiences, more maybe experiencing more social culture as well.
Right. Now, there are some other questions that we have. If you have time for one or two.
Yes, please go.
Okay. So one of the hoteliers want to know, I think this is something that you already covered, but then how do you maximize the best rates? I think extranet is the way to go for this.
It completely depends on the property and the decisions that they make based on what is available to them right now. Extranet is totally equipped with all kinds of information. Like I mentioned before, last year we've built in the market insights dashboard for all the properties to see where the demand is going to and what kind of travelers are coming to their property. They can also check their comp set and pricing against their comp set on booking.com. And there are a lot of other predictions that we give in the opportunities tab, which will help them understand the low-hanging fruits, the biggest opportunities available, like maybe even flexible pricing. You mentioned before that some properties don't really have flexible pricing yet. So that would be a big opportunity for them to turn around the business and cater to a lot more travelers than before. So yes, the short answer is yes. Extranet has a lot of information that can help them.
Okay. I think we'll take one last question on this. Somebody wants to know again that how do we deal with bookings that do not get confirmed? So basically the idea is to because we all are recovering from pandemic, the idea is to get maximum of the rooms that are coming in, right? And when the commuter, the traveler becomes or goes incommunicado, then hoteliers usually wait for them to turn up, and when they don't turn up, it's a loss for us a little bit. As a hotelier, there's a loss, and at booking.com, there's a loss of revenue in terms of commission. So what would you suggest to the hotelier to, what they can do to reduce these sort of incommunicado or no-shows?
Yes. So if we see the opportunity that lies with flexible reservations and flexible policies, is very
Mhm.
huge compared to making it more stringent and non-refundable, for example, because the
Right.
kind of marketing that we do for the property will bring in a lot of opportunity for the property to get many more reservation as compared to maybe the number of no-shows that they get in that
Okay.
period. And having said that, there are also, very many options that the properties take by sending out welcome emails, for example, to their guests, just to get an idea of whether, this reservation is going to come through or not. So communication is definitely, key here. It engages the traveler, and it also gives you a sense and an idea of if this traveler is serious in
Mhm.
having a confirmed reservation or not. So I think, yeah, there are a few ideas here and there that you can try, but like I mentioned before, travelers are more confident, and they get a sense of reassurance if they have a flexible policy, because even if you are as a traveler, you would kind of
Mhm.
hesitate at this point. If I have to make a reservation today, I would rather make a flexible reservation than a non-refundable
Yes.
one, because you don't know how the travel industry and the COVID situation,
Yes.
evolves. So taking that into consideration is extremely important to understand, and be in the shoes of the traveler right now, rather than thinking about just one aspect of the business. So we
Complete.
also in turn need to be a little more flexible uh, uh, for the travelers.
Okay. Right. I think, Mike, that answers your question. Booking.com has ready-made templates, so does eZee. So every time somebody makes a booking on booking.com, the email ID is captured, and we have ready-made communication templates on booking.com and on eZee's extranet, which you can create and utilize. I think we have, like on booking.com extranet, there are so many tools at this point in time which are little underutilized. So
Yes.
I think this kind of ready-made templates are going to help hotelier, sort of establish a communication in terms of their charging policy, in terms of the cancellation policies. So a person who's made booking also is aware, and if he does not want to really continue with the stay, or turn up on the first place, he or she will notify, and I think this is going to reduce those no-shows and cancellations. I think one last question. I think this one is very interesting. Then we wrap up for the day. Okay. I know, but a little greedy. So the way things are on recovery, I think we have reached pre-COVID levels at maximum places that you mentioned. Okay. You think that hospitality business is now going to grow from here in next 5 years?
There is definitely going to be a very positive shift
Mm-hmm.
in the hospitality industry. You can also
Okay.
follow a lot of information that our CEO Glenn Fogel had shared in the upcoming in the most recent interviews that he's done in media. But so I'm just going to follow what he says, because yeah, there's a lot of information from the research that we have, and people
Right.
are actually waiting, to travel. People are waiting for things to get normal, and even if things are not extremely 100% normal, we will make that our
Mm-hmm.
new normal. So we are looking at options
Yes.
within the restrictions also, like, so all people who wanted to travel abroad in India could not do so,
Mm-hmm.
so they are going more domestic. We're doing more local travels.
Yes.
We're doing a lot of weekend destinations than before. So we
Yes.
have accepted the new normal already, and that's how
Mhm.
we are evolving. And in the future also, travel will keep evolving depending on how the COVID restrictions evolve or are lifted, or for whatever, good or bad, whatever happens. But there is going to be a great pent up demand, a big pent up demand in the coming years.
Mhm.
Travel, like we from the research also said, travel is a big get away from a routine, from our mundane lives. It's so important to our well-being as well right now. That
Yes.
is yeah, so people who actually put off their vacations before now realize how important that was. And we're trying to make most of the vacation time that we have. So if we take all these things together, we get an idea of how travel is going to be so important than anything else that we do for resting and resetting and leisure. So yeah.
Yes, I think, like you mentioned very rightly, that we realize the importance or the price of the value, rather, price would be a wrong word, the value of freedom when we don't have it. So I think this last 2.5 years have made us realize that, there is more to life than a 9 to 5 or hustling 24/7. Because
Very
I
true.
remember the first opportunity that I got, post the pandemic, the moment they lifted the restrictions, I took a road trip. It was so refreshing to, be on the roads after so many months, after so many years. So I think if this continues, and second thing, very beautiful thing that we all have is the ability to evolve and adapt as humans. And that is what has made the, post-COVID travel come back to the level that it was pre-COVID. The gift of forgiving, forgetting, and adapting is something that we all have. And I think with this, it is going to continue in future as well. There are some questions pouring which we will not be able to take up. I'm so sorry. But guys, for any questions that you have, you can always reach out to me or Anuja. For me, you can always just drop a one-liner on RM and eZee Technosis, and all the questions that you have for Anuja also, you can send it to us. We will send it to her, and whatever she can answer from those questions, we'll definitely answer. So any questions, you can always drop to us. We look forward to hearing from you and having more of such sessions with you to sort of provide what is the insights in the travel world which can benefit all of us mutually. So I think that would be it from my end. You have any closing lines for us, Anuja?
I just wanted to thank everybody for joining in and listening today. It was great having everybody here. It was great collaborating with Parikshit and the entire eZee team. I hope whatever I presented to you today was helpful enough. And of course, we will work as Booking.com. We'll work very closely with everybody to make sure, we are doing the right thing in terms of business. And I just wish, everybody, great business recovery in the next coming months. And also, Merry Christmas in advance, and wish you all a very happy New Year, happy holidays. So I'll see you in 2022.
Yes, please. And somebody had posted some questions on rates. For that, you can always reach out. Sorry, just plugging in on the last minute, but some questions on rates are coming. I would definitely love to take them, because now we are moving a lot towards dynamic pricing, which is becoming the essence to the travel in 2022, flexibility in terms of pricing. So for all those questions, I will personally answer. You can always reach out to us on Mint website as well to get all the insights and Q&As. Yes. Yes, we can, Mr. Jarvan, I think I'll be able to give you some insight on notice on website, etc., etc. All the questions which are now pending, I'll be personally answering via email. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to having you one more time. And like Anuja mentioned, happy holidays. Thank you so much, Anuja, for doing this. Let's catch up again soon on more insights from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye, everybody.